Okay, industry, what are we doing? Sean here. I'm just trying to figure out, as I've been this entire week, how Concord reportedly cost $400 million to make. $400 million, and these are the designs that they came up with. Let's check out this video on the very topic.
I want to talk about Concord. I wasn't going to ever talk about this game again.
I kind of feel the same. I didn't think I was going to talk about this game again, but it's the news that develops out of this production is just so insane that you kind of have to just take notice of it. This whole game has been like a lesson on what not to do in creation.
And someone who worked on Concord reached out to me, and I verified who this person was and went through all of that and talked to this person extensively. So the big thing that you really need to know here about this is that Concord cost about $400 million to make.
Oh my God.
And up to the point that the game went into alpha state, they had already spent about $200 million on it.
I really wish I could just like go back in time into the studio as like some kind of observer to see what their creation process was, because I'm confused. $200 million of creation. Okay.
When the game had already had $200 million spent on it and was basically in an alpha form in quarter one of 2023, from that point until the game launched, Sony spent another $200 million on it. Sony felt like they needed to spend that much money again. So, 200 plus 200 to get the game to the MVP status, not to the status of it being like a great game.
If I could think about this for a second. I understand. It's like this has happened to me working on various art pieces where I'm looking at it, I'm working on it, and something about it just doesn't look right. And I figured that I just need to push it over that little edge so that it can look exactly the way I need to. Sometimes that works, but a lot of times I end up having to completely just start it over. Sometimes I'll trace over my own work, or I'll just start a whole new concept completely with the same, I guess, characters or setting.
Sony put most of that money in, and it is not only so, because we had kind of said like this must be Sony's biggest loss ever on a game, and it is.
This has to be their biggest loss ever. I haven't heard about a loss like this in gaming history, and I've been gaming since Super Mario Brothers 1.
They made about $1 million gross revenue, and then they gave it all back. So this is a huge, multiple hundreds of millions of dollar loss.
So they made nothing. Well, I mean, that's obvious. I mean, they refunded everything, right? They shut down the servers, they stopped the game, refunded everybody, so I guess they made zero. We promptly told them with our wallets that we didn't want to see it, and now this is the outcome.
Such major ambition for this game that it was referred to internally as a Star Wars-like project for Sony, that it can be repeatedly revisited over and over and over again, not only in cross-media, but in what we were seeing. We've already kind of seen little bits of it. So the weekly story vignettes that they were going to release, and then, of course, the inclusion in Amazon's Secret Levels anthology, that's like just scratching the surface of it.
Yeah, there's a Amazon project called Secret Levels, and apparently there's going to be, I guess, a animated short of the Concord universe, which I don't know who wants to see that. I'm wondering if they're still going to go through it. It'd be kind of funny to see what they were planning and if anybody likes it, but I guess we'll find out whenever the Amazon project comes out.
A major thing about the game is that there was, and I think we can kind of get this vibe from just the nature of the people making it and kind of the way the game reads and all that, a toxic positivity vibe.
Mm-hmm.
You weren't allowed to say anything, apparently internally, about this game, about how like something's wrong with it, character designs are not right, and so on and so forth. They really truly believe this was Herman Hulst's baby, apparently.
This toxic positivity concept is very interesting. So basically anything that you had to say, any form of criticism against the game, whether its mechanics or its lovely design, you were not allowed to criticize. That doesn't sound like a very positive environment, but hence, I guess, why it's the term toxic positivity.
Yeah, the big things to take away: $400 million loss. The game was in horrible shape as of 18 months ago before release. Not even monetization, no onboarding, most content not even there. The game was in such bad shape at that point that they spent the budget of it again in urgent outsourcing to get the game finished.
That's gotta be just the studios in pure panic mode. It's so much money spent that they figure, like, we have to put this out and it has to be great. So now you have your toxic positivity added on with all the money spent, added on with the fact that the product is in bad shape.
And by the way, the $400 million not included in how much it cost to buy the team.
Wait, there's more money on top of the 400 million? I feel like there needs to be like some gaming industry therapy of some sort. We can't keep doing this.
Yeah, so Concord is Sony's biggest released game by budget to date. And it is the biggest loss that they've ever had as a company on a project.
Okay, I don't know what to say about that. And it's been reported that the end of the Concord credits, and I'm gonna have to go and double check that myself, but the end of the Concord credits includes a bunch of cheers for the developers.
Let's make some noise out here. Ha ha! Damn. Yeah. Ha ha! Jabam!
As if they wanted to hype themselves up. That only feeds into their delusion. In any case, what we had going on the screen while I was listening to this disaster of a reporting was the Emari revamp that some of you may know from either my page here on YouTube or that Reddit lie. I tried to do the best I can with it. I just put in a little couple more details. Like I said, this one, these designs I'm just doing for fun, right? Doing it in a rush. Doing it to make the characters a little more fun, a little more appealing, a little more indicative of a hero shooter. I decided to keep Emari's Gatling gun and somewhat of her color scheme. I had to darken the black of her outfit because everything was too flat tone colored. And I believe one of the best things about this Concord discourse is all of the artists and designers and professionals that are giving their thoughts and even remixing some of these designs, which are some good art lessons for an artist out there. If you want to learn how to design something properly, there's a bunch of channels you guys should go check out and see what they've done with it, because it really is a eye-opening thing that came out of this tragedy. As I've said before, my Emari is loosely based on kind of a She-Hulk / Jade Cargill vibe. I wanted to let her be muscular. I know in the original they just made her big and I couldn't figure out what was going on. I'm still on the fence on whether she was fat or if she just had the body of a really big man, because I can't tell if she's just overweight or if she's just Triple H. It's really hard for me to tell. I don't know why they thought this design was something we wanted to see, and obviously, as I said in the previous video, she was one of the most stereotypical characters that I came across in the preview trailers. So yeah, I had to design her differently because that wasn't flying in my head. Now, as far as my man Daw over here, we gonna call my version Dawson because I don't know, it just rolls off the tongue better. Now, I didn't understand his design at first at all. To be honest, I had a contest in my head trying to figure out which design from Concord I thought was the worst one. It might not be Emari and Daw, but I can't tell because it kind of changes from day to day. So we're just picking on them today, to be totally honest. But he was the Medic character. You the Medic character, bro. Why are you out of shape? Hey, I can't be talking. I gotta go to the gym myself, but yeah, I just don't understand how he is the he's the medic. Like, how shouldn't you be healthy to fit the theme? So I decided to add a doctor slash warrior look to him, just to make the concept make more sense. And obviously I shaved some weight off of him to give him some maneuverability in the battlefield. By the way, this is not saying that you can't have big characters. There have been some cool big characters before, but they would have a little bit more, heft, maybe a more of a sumo build, something that's like really strong. Daw doesn't come across to me as being particularly strong. I mean, look at this. What is that? What is the little jig? Bro, I can't. It assaults my artistic senses. I can't. $400 million, y'all. I also just want to say, in the making of this video, I did find an article about somebody on Twitter who apparently says they tried to do a number crunch stating that it was not 400 million, but instead 150 million. Not sure how true that is. Not even sure how true the 400 number is. Probably somewhere in the middle. It doesn't matter. Even at 150 million, the fact that your game got shut down in 2 weeks is unheard of. So take that information and process it how you will. So yeah, that's what I was able to do really quick. I didn't produce it to its perfect finality, and it's probably going to stay that way. Speaking of character design, a friend of mine and also a moderator to my live streams, Bree, has done her own character designs, and she had some thoughts on the whole Concord debacle in general.
So, how about them Concords? For those who don't know, on August the 20th, Sony Interactive Entertainment published their very own online shooter game to rival Overwatch, named Concord. Developed by Firewalk Studios, the game was 8 years in the making with a budget of roughly $200 million.
What? What the fuck?
And in just 2 weeks, the game was pulled from the market because no one played it. Truly the Solomon Grundy of the gaming world. Alright, look. It's been about a week and a half as I'm recording this, and there's already a plethora of videos covering the downfall of this game and the reasons behind it. And there are multiple reasons, to be fair. One of them being that it's a $40 game in a genre where its competition majority is free to play.
And that's another great point. Concord started at $40 with a bunch of heroes that didn't look like heroes that you didn't want to play as. Meanwhile, other games that looked and played better started at free $99.
If you're looking for an in-depth video essay on where Concord failed and how it failed, please look somewhere else. I genuinely do not care. Everything I know about Concord, which is not much, has been against my will. And the only time I learn about new details is because I'm editing this video. I don't even like shooter games, except Metal Slug, but especially first-person shooter games, which I'm sure is going to raise some eyebrows, like, if you don't like the game, you talk about the... To which I will answer, I've never played Overwatch or League of Legends, but I still love the character designs of Tracer, Mercy, Jinx, and Echo. They look quite nice. The same cannot be said for the characters of Concord.
I will agree to that. All of those character designs are pretty freaking awesome. I bought the Overwatch art book and I never played Overwatch. The art direction was simply fantastic, so it was a no-brainer for me as a purchase.
Look at this one with a medieval lantern for a helmet. This one looks like Lindor chocolate.
Jabam! Ooh, makes me want to dance! I'm gonna kill myself!
Wow.
I'm going to kill myself, and it's your fault!
I'm gonna count that Bree and I are the only two people on this internet that have capitalized on the exclamation Jabam, like I did in my last video. Jabam, like we should all be saying it. Jabam! Like, I don't understand why I thought they wanted that to be the new saying. It's like, I thought that was gonna be the thing. I thought it was gonna end up in memes, but it didn't. So I don't know. I guess Bree and I will have to carry on Emari's tradition of Jabam.
I have eyes. I can see ugly. And I believe, and lots of other people believe, that is what actually led to Concord's ultimate downfall. The god-awful character designs. Look at this. This is the entire character roster, and I don't even know what I'm looking at. None of these characters tell a story or even give me a modicum of a hint as to what they do. Like this guy, Daw, who I thought was a woman, is supposed to be a healer? A healer? How, Sway? In fact, it is so bad that there are artists coming out of the woodwork redesigning some of these things. And I draw things, and I kind of want to redraw them too. So here we are.
So you all can go and check that out. I'm gonna have that video, like I said, in the description. But she actually does a pretty good job. She even did something pretty good with Daw. She's a fantastic artist, and you guys will be missing out if you don't subscribe to her page. In any case, y'all, I hope you enjoyed this redesigning of the greatest video game characters on Earth. I will see you next time when there is more to report on the entertainment industry, which seems to be in some kind of turmoil at the moment. Hopefully some cool things are coming our way. In case, if you guys like the video, feel free to subscribe and drop a like, share it out. And I will catch you next time on the next video or live stream that occurs. Everyone have a good day. Peace out.